Welcome to Clarity Currents. I'm Danielle Laura, trusted seer and spiritual advisor. Each week, I share grounded energetic transmissions and insights into the week ahead so you know how to work with the energy rather than in resistance to it and are equipped to create aligned momentum across your business, relationships, health, wealth, spirituality, and legacy. This is Clarity Currents episode for the week of June 22nd through the 28th, 2026. Let's dive in. When I tune into the overall energetics of the week, I see a vision of someone doing one final sweep through a room before they close the door behind them, gathering the last few things that belong to who they used to be. This is a week of completion, a final cleanup of all the emotional release we've been moving through so that we can step cleanly into what we're beginning and what we're being called to commit to now. I also see a rope being pulled in two directions. On one end, our heart and our focus on relationships and connections we love. And then on the other, there's an inner pillar representing our autonomy, our independence, and our devotion to our own sense of self. This week, the invitation isn't to choose one or the other. It's to notice where you've been abandoning yourself for the sake of connection or hiding from connection to protect yourself, and to find the middle place where you can stay loyal to you and stay open to others at the same time. Let this be a week where you tie up loose ends so your hands are free to receive what's coming. Business for the week of June 22nd. When I tune into the energetics of business this week, I see a vision of someone in a garden planting seeds and watering them with so much love and care, and then walking away, not digging them back up every day to check if they've sprouted. This is the message for your business this week. Build what you love and love what you're building, not because you're gripping to a specific outcome. I see a highlight on the difference between grinding for the sake of grinding and pouring yourself into the work because it actually lights you up. Ask yourself, where in my business have I been forcing, hustling, depleting myself for a result that I think I'm supposed to want? And where does the work itself feel like joy? Lean into the latter. I also hear the phrase, the results are guaranteed when you don't give up, and you won't give up if you truly love it. So this is the week to move slowly, steadily, lovingly, and really trusting that the seeds you planted are taking root underground, even if you can't see them yet. Relationships for the week of June 22nd. When I tune into the energetics of relationships this week, I see a vision of a person with their hand resting over their mouth, holding something in, and then slowly lowering that hand and beginning to speak. This is an emotionally charged week relationally, and the medicine is your voice. There may be a feeling, a need, a truth that you've been swallowing in order to keep the peace or connection comfortable, and this is the week that it surfaces, asking to be spoken. I see that when you finally voice what you actually need, even if it feels intense or vulnerable, it creates this closeness and support that you've been longing for. Ask yourself, where have I been waiting for someone to read my mind instead of telling them what I need? Then have that conversation. The intensity you may feel this week isn't a sign that something is wrong. It's just a sign that something is ready to transform. Health for the week of June 22nd. When I tune into the energetics of health this week, I see a vision of a sponge being gently squeezed, and then all the water that it's been holding is releasing out. This is a week where your body may be letting go of what it's quietly been carrying. So if you feel tired, tender, even more emotional than usual this week, honor it because that's the release happening. I also see that your dreams are highlighted very strongly this week, almost like letters being slipped underneath the door of your sleeping mind. So pay attention to them. Keep a journal by your bed. There is definitely guidance arriving while you rest. And the invitation is to trust your body's instinctual knowing over any external rule book about what you should be doing for your wellness. Your body is whispering to you this week, so slow down, soften, listen, and let yourself be a little spacey and dreamy because there's insight in the stillness. Wealth for the week of June 22nd. When I tune into the energetics of wealth this week, I see a vision of a beautiful vessel being filled steadily from this slow stream, drop by drop, and the gentle reminder to not keep tipping it over to check how full it is. There's a theme of worthiness at the root of wealth, and I see your sense of value, your belief in your own worth, and the soil your abundance grows in. So this week, money and self-worth are deeply intertwined. So you can ask yourself, am I building wealth in a way that feels aligned with my joy and my passion? or just out of fear and pressure. I see steady, slow, faithful financial momentum, the kind that doesn't always show immediate results, but is absolutely working beneath the surface. Don't give up on the financial vision just because you can't see the proof yet, because the vessel is filling. Here's a prayer you can say. God, anchor me in my worth, show me how to build wealth from joy instead of fear, and help me trust the steady flow even when I can't see it yet. Amen. And so it is. Spirituality for the week of June 22nd. When I tune into the energetics of spirituality this week, I see a vision of someone reaching out and turning down the volume on this loud, crowded room full of voices and opinions, then turning up the volume on one single clear voice within their own heart. This is the spiritual assignment of the week, to trust your inner knowing above the noise and above other people's expectations, above the conditioning you've been absorbing about how things are supposed to go. There's a compass with its needle holding steady even as the wind swirled all around it. And that's this week when you stay anchored into your intuition. There's a thinning happening between you and your inner guidance. And the more quiet the external noise, the more clearly you'll hear the direction meant for you. Indulge in whatever spiritual practices help you feel rooted and tuned in, and notice the dreams, the synchronicities, the quiet nudges, because they're all carrying your messages this week. And legacy for the week of June 22nd. When I tune into the energetics of legacy this week, I see a vision of someone who has been running in place for a while. Then suddenly this tailwind picks up behind them and they begin to move forward with ease, gliding, flowing, finally in motion. This is a week where when you take action from your true intuition and your real passions, everything begins to flow. The doors swing open and the momentum builds. I see this happening as this week unfolds, really building towards a powerful forward surge near the end, almost like the universe is rewarding you for trusting yourself. So the invitation is to examine the beliefs that you've been carrying about what's possible for you in your bigger vision, and to release the old limiting ones that just belong to your previous chapter. Ask yourself, what would I build? What would I commit to if I fully trusted my own inner knowing? Then take a step in that direction, because that aligned action is the very thread that weaves your legacy into being. There you have it, Hot Soul, your intuitive forecast for the week. Wishing you a week of aligned momentum and divine flow. Until next week. And that's what's happening and moving collectively this week. If you want to know exactly how this is landing in your chart, in your design, in the specific day that you're walking into, with the exact moves to make, that's what I built Evolve AI for. Come join us and start your 7-day free trial at fullyevolve.ai. I'll see you there.